This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Today, Tuesday, is supposed to be the big day for the vote on infrastructure and the $1.75 trillion Build Back Better bill. May not be the case because Joe Manchin just spoke out, had a press conference, and blasted Democrats in the process. I'll let you know what he said. I'll also go over this article right here. Fourth stimulus check update, $2,000 monthly payment petition hits Congress, ghosting families. Also, this one right here, income inequality during the pandemic was kept under control by historic stimulus check, study finds. I'll give you some other more important updates. Hope you're having a terrific Tuesday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below. Let's go over this fourth stimulus check update first. So $2,000 monthly payment petition hits Congress, ghosting families. What is this all about? So Stephanie Bonnet, who is the creator of a petition for the $2,000 monthly stimulus checks, is urging Congress to not ghost American families and put in work to make child tax credit payments permanent. So this is that petition right here that I've mentioned in the past, $2,000 per month to every American. Currently, it's at 2,945,000 signatures so far. And according to this article, what she said is, this Halloween, let's spread the word that the scariest thing is Congress ghosting America by taking away the checks being sent directly to our families, the expanded child care tax credit. So also, she wants the child tax credits to be permanent too, along with the $2,000 per month stimulus check. So basically, at this point, members of Congress have used the data on the impact of child tax credit to push for continuation of the payments, but congressional battles have stalled efforts to make payments permanent. However, that could change this week. So basically, the article goes on to talk about the vote for the big $1.75 trillion package. But in terms of a fourth stimulus check, it's not in the package at the moment. Hold on one second. Let me just fix my camera. It keeps falling down. Hopefully that's better. All right. So moving on, income inequality during the pandemic was kept under control by historic stimulus checks, study finds. So basically what it's saying here, if it weren't for federal government spending on extra unemployment benefits and stimulus checks, this last recession would have been much worse. So it's saying in April 2020, the unemployment rate reached 14.8%, the highest rate observed since data collection began in 1948, soaring from just 3.5% in February 2020. The worst affected were low-paying jobs with median hourly earnings of $10.22, according to estimates using Paystub Generator, which comprised 44% of the country's workers, but could have been a lot worse were it not for unprecedented government intervention through stimulus and unemployment checks. So basically, what this article is saying is that those who remained employed didn't experience any atypical earnings change. And the lowest paid among us, however, really bore the brunt, and they were much more likely to lose work during the pandemic, and basically saying that there's a big need for more stimulus checks. Sorry for my voice if it's a little scratchy. So along with this study are a few other studies basically making the case for fourth stimulus checks, continued unemployment, especially for those who are lower income. Not just everybody, maybe not as generalized as the last stimulus checks and last unemployment programs were, but probably more targeted. And it didn't say it in this article, but I think people on fixed income are really suffering a lot right now and could definitely use the help. But at this moment, there is no fourth stimulus check, no continued unemployment, despite all these studies coming out and trying to push Congress to do so. I'll keep you updated if any of that changes. So today, Tuesday, House ayes vote Tuesday on both economic bills. Supposed to happen today, may not be the case, so Joe Manchin strikes again. Manchin blasts House Democrats, potentially pressing pause on Biden agenda. Here is the video clip from Joe Manchin talking more about his plans, what he wants to do, blasting House Democrats. Take a look at this.
First of all, I want to thank you all for coming. And I've heard a lot of the mischaracterizations of my position since the President met with the House Democrats last Thursday. And I would like to make an attempt to clear up any confusion about where I stand on the legislation that's working its way through Congress. In all of my years of public service, and I've been around for a long time, I've never seen anything like this. The President of the United States has addressed the House Democratic Caucus twice recently to urge action on the bipartisan infrastructure bill, which sometimes we refer to as the BIF bill. Last week, the Speaker Pelosi urged the importance of voting and passing the BIF bill before the President took the world stage overseas, and still no action. In my view, this is not how the United States Congress should operate, or in my view, has operated in the past. The political games have to stop. Twice now, the House has balked at the opportunity to send the BIF legislation to the President. As you've heard, there are some House Democrats who say they can't support this infrastructure package until they get my commitment on the reconciliation legislation. It is time to vote on the BIF bill, up or down, and then go home and explain to your constituents the decision you made. And I've always said, if I can't go home and explain it, I can't vote for it, and if I can, I will. I've worked in good faith for 3 months, for the past 3 months, with President Biden, Leader Schumer, Speaker Pelosi, and my colleagues on the reconciliation bill, and I will continue to do so. For the sake of the country, I urge the House to vote and pass the bipartisan infrastructure bill. Holding this bill hostage is not going to work in getting my support for the reconciliation bill. Throughout the last 3 months, I've been straightforward about my concerns that I will not support a reconciliation package that expands social programs and irresponsibly adds to our $29 trillion in national debt that no one seems to really care about or even talk about. Nor will I support a package that risks hurting American families suffering from historic inflation. Simply put, I will not support a bill that is this consequential without thoroughly understanding the impact that it'll have on our national debt, our economy, and most importantly, all of our American people. Every elected representative needs to know what they are voting for and the impact it has, not only on their constituents, but the entire country. That is why we must allow time for complete transparency and analysis on the impact of changes to our tax code and energy and climate policies to ensure that our country is well positioned to remain the superpower of the world while we inspire the rest of the world towards a cleaner environment. And this all can be done. I, for one, won't support a multi-trillion-dollar bill without greater clarity about why Congress chooses to ignore the serious effects of inflation and debt that have on our economy and existing government programs. For example, how can I in good conscience vote for a bill that proposes massive expansion of social programs when vital programs like Social Security and Medicare face insolvency and benefits could start being reduced as soon as 2026 in Medicare and 2033 in Social Security? How does that make sense? And I don't think it does. Meanwhile, elected leaders continue to ignore exploding inflation, that our national debt continues to grow, and interest payments on the debt will start to rapidly increase when the Fed has to start raising interest rates to try to slow down this runaway inflation. With the factors in mind, and all of these factors that we've spoken about, I've worked in good faith for months with all of my colleagues to find a middle ground on a fiscally, and I repeat that, a fiscally responsible piece of legislation that fixes the flaws of the 2017 Trump tax bill that I thought was weighted far, far too far for the high-end earners and the needs of the American families and children. However, as more of the real details outlined in the basic framework are released, what I see are shell games, budget gimmicks that make the real cost of the so-called $1.75 trillion bill estimated to be almost twice that amount if the full time is run out, if you extended it permanently, and that we haven't even spoken about. This is a recipe for economic crisis. None of us should ever misrepresent to the American people what the real cost of legislation is. While I've worked hard to find a path to compromise, it's obvious compromise is not good enough for a lot of my colleagues in Congress. It's all or nothing, and their position doesn't seem to change unless we agree to everything. Enough is enough. It's time our elected leaders in Washington, all of us, stop playing games with the needs of the American people and holding a critical infrastructure bill hostage. While there is opportunity in the reconciliation bill that we can all agree on, and we've been talking about this for months. Again, to be clear, I will not support the reconciliation legislation without knowing how the bill will impact our debt and our economy and our country. And we won't know that until we work through the text. For the sake of our country, and I am urging all of my colleagues in the House to vote and pass the bipartisan infrastructure bill. It's bipartisan, 69 votes. We worked on that for many, many months. As I've said before, holding that bill hostage is not going to work to get my support of what you want. It's what we should all agree on and work through the process. I'm open to supporting a final bill that helps move our country forward, but I'm equally open to voting against a bill that hurts our country. And I've been very clear about that also. And most importantly, hurts every American. Let's work together, and I mean that. Let's all work together on getting a sensible reconciliation package, a package that really strengthens our nation and makes us better and leads the world. Thank you all. Let me say one thing. I'm not going to negotiate in public on this because I've been dealing in good faith, and I will continue to deal in good faith with all of my colleagues on both sides. It's time to pass the bill and quit playing games.
What are your thoughts on what Joe Manchin has to say? Do you agree, disagree? It seems that every time the Democrats make some progress, Joe Manchin takes it 2 steps back. But let me know your thoughts on that. That is all the stimulus news I have for you today. To hopefully brighten your day a bit, here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Bye. And hi guys, this is Bella. This is the tip of the day. That's just my sister clip, but now we're doing my clip. So what I'm talking about now is to you, like when someone's hurt, you should definitely help them, because that if it's like really bad, then you should actually help them. Like I helped a couple of my friends and they loved it. So that's what I want to say for today. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate all of your support. Here is a little video clip of Bella and the girls having some fun. Anyways, hopefully you're having a great day. Hopefully things get really good for you today. And if you want to check out any of my other videos, you could click up here or here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.